All right, hello. Just a real quick presentation here about some maps that you might want to be familiar with and some types of maps that you might want to be familiar with to prepare for the AP European History exam. One thing you want to look at with the maps is try and figure out the time period that the map goes with. And there's a couple of key things you're going to look at for the time period. Mostly you're going to look at political borders. So for example, for Renaissance Italy, you're going to see a very divided Italy, particularly in the northern part. And you're going to see the map emphasize northern Italy, which is where the Renaissance begins. So when you see a map, try and think of what time period is associated with that geographical part of Europe and try and match those things together. Italy is one of the keys you're going to look at for political borders because it's not united for so much of the time period that we're looking at. Another type of map you might want to see, you might want to prepare for, is going to show geographical distribution of, in this case, Reformation ideas. The areas coded in blue are primarily Protestant. Areas in green are primarily Catholic. The gray area is Eastern Orthodox. The red area on this map I don't like so much. Theoretically it's Muslim because it's the Ottoman Empire, but there's numbers of Eastern Orthodox Christians and Jews that are in this area that's coded red, so this one's a little trickier. But again, you want to think about what might be portrayed in this map, what geographical division is this representing. This is a map that you're likely to see, the Congress of Vienna in 1815, major turning point in European history. So what you want to look for, as I say, Italy is a key. What's happening in the Holy Roman Empire or Germany is key. Here you see the rise of Prussia, yet it's not a united Germany. You see Poland has been absorbed by Russia, so it's after the Polish partitions in the late 18th century. The Austrian Empire is still intact. It's not the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And the Ottoman Empire is still controlling a lot of southeastern Europe. So if you see a map of all of Europe, you want to key in on Central Europe. That's where you're going to find a lot of clues about what time period this map is trying to represent. This is a map showing the competing alliance systems in the years leading up to World War I. So here you see the Central Powers versus the Triple Entente. This is 1871 to 1914 is the simplest map of Europe you're going to find. Germany's united, Austria-Hungary still united, Russia still controls a lot of territory, Italy's united. Here, this one you want to key in on the Balkans. What do the Balkans look like? This is an area of Europe that transitions quite a lot in the second half of the course, 1815 to present. You see a lot of changes in the Balkans in the southeastern part of Europe. This map shows Europe between World War I and World War II. And again, you see here the key is going to be Eastern Europe, Central Europe, Southeastern Europe. Poland is revived. You have the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. You have Yugoslavia as an intact country between World War I and the end of communism, 1990 or so. So that's going to be something you want to key in on. Germany is united. They still have some territory in East Prussia, that little piece north of Poland. So again, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, these are going to be your key. If you notice, Spain doesn't change much, France doesn't change much, United Kingdom doesn't change much. Central and Eastern Europe, this is what you want to key in on. The AP exam tends not to ask a lot of questions about World War II for some odd reason, but anyway, I thought I'd throw this one in for you as well. Here you see Nazi Germany at the height of its power, with the dark gray being areas directly controlled by Nazi Germany, and then as it gets to lighter shaded areas, that represents a decreasing amount of control. The areas in sort of the medium gray are areas under military rule, and the areas under light gray are the client states that are allies, theoretically independent, but they're really kind of puppets of the Nazi regime. And then the white areas are neutral, and then the green and red areas here represent the allies. The Cold War, this is a map you could definitely see. Once again, you key in on the fact that Germany's divided here in Central Europe, and yet Yugoslavia is still intact, the Soviet Union is still intact. So you see a couple of key countries here in Central Eastern Europe that are the giveaways for this map. And then finally, modern Europe. Here you see it's a fairly divided map. Yugoslavia is broken up, the Soviet Union is broken up, Czechoslovakia is broken up. On the other hand, you have Germany reunited, but you can see how they've lost that chunk of territory in Prussia. So A couple of things to look for as you prepare for the maps, and you really just want to focus, as I say, on that Central Eastern Europe where you see most of the transitions for political differences. For the other types of maps, try and think of what is the big picture they're trying to show. Are they showing natural resources, coal and iron, in which case this is probably a map about the Industrial Revolution? Are they showing changes to borders? Are they showing territory gained or lost as a result of a war? So trying to figure out what are they trying to show with this map. Is it social economic history, political diplomatic history, or it could possibly even be intellectual or artistic, showing the spread of ideas. So you want to think about, for example, the Renaissance originating in northern Italy and spreading throughout Europe. You want to think about France as the center of the Enlightenment. So there are ways they could get at this, but most likely your maps are going to be political and diplomatic or possibly economic. So best of luck.